from the G-Spot brand, also represented by Braxton Blue, our wonderful producer extraordinaire over here.
Real quick, since we're talking about that, if anyone hasn't watched, I've been watching the YouTube, the playback on YouTube because they're just iTunes. Sometimes there's a glitch, but with what we're doing with what Braxton is doing with the camera things is so fucking cool. I actually am not going to listen to the podcast. I'm not even going to push the podcast. Everyone should be watching this on YouTube.
You should,
because the only podcast I've seen that does what we're doing with these different camera angles and jumping back and forth is the Joe Rogan podcast, which is like got major production value and a ton of money behind it.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, it's very similar to when you watch that podcast on YouTube. And I mean, it makes it so much more interesting. I'm not trying to blow smoke.
No,
but
you're
I'm
right.
saying it's actually way more interesting when you're jumping around camera angles and to who's talking, and it makes it watchable. It makes it watchable instead of just listenable.
Well, Potts, it's funny you say that because, guys, if that's coming from him, then that's a huge endorsement because Potts, until I think we started doing it with Braxton with the camera angles, Potts didn't even know we were on YouTube, refused to watch the YouTube. He's stuck on the live stream or on the podcast because he listens at work. Or I'm sorry, at the gym.
Well, that and you can't keep YouTube up.
That's
and
the problem.
Do anything else on your phone.
And that's still the annoying thing.
I agree.
Because even when I'm watching it, I'd like to be able to jump around and answer messages, and that fucking is really annoying.
It is frustrating.
But I do really enjoy watching our show on YouTube now.
So Braxton, honestly, I know you're not on camera, you don't talk too much, but what you're adding to the show is honestly just it's bar none one of the best things I've seen on YouTube podcasts, anything like this. It's really awesome.
It really is. I mean, this podcast is, I mean, whether you like it or not, what we're doing production wise, no one's doing. There's a lot of care put into this show.